Welcome to another very interesting and intriguing episode of this program, My Story. My Story is an inspirational program aimed at encouraging young minds to fight for their dreams despite the challenges they face. My name is Ofonisi Abasibasi, and today an industrious son of Akwa Ibom State will be leading us through his life experiences, how he overcome them and build the brand that he is today. If you're a regular watcher of 20 Questions or Bush House Nigeria, I'm sure the name Akparawa Michael Bush would be very new to you. Now let's hear his story.
My name is Michael Bush. I'm the son of a fisherman. Well, I have not so beautiful memories of my childhood. You know, I guess when I was 2-3 years old, my parents, my mom and my dad, they took me to Cameroon, where my father was a fisherman, and I was in Cameroon for about 20 years. I went to primary school there, went to secondary school there. So my childhood, I remember growing up in extreme poverty. You know, I remember that at some point at that stage of my life, the breakfast, the lunch, and let's say the dinner was pap. That's ogi and akara. You know, I remember as a little kid always scattering it and leaving it. But at some point we moved to the Republic of Cameroon, where I went to, as I said, primary and secondary schools. And I guess along the line too, my father made some money, because I remember he grew to having a fishing line that had many boats. I think he even had engine boats, plus he had supermarkets, and then also had beer parlors in the Republic of Cameroon, you know. So perhaps life got better, but you know, I still would be thankful in all for the life that God gave me then, now, and even more thankful for the massive one that's coming in the future. All through the 70s, the 80s, and I would say that my father had just, well, generally the household, we had just one sign of luxury. There was nothing. All we used were, like, for instance, bush lamps. That's the only thing that gave us any semblance of light. It was bush lamp that gave us that. I don't know how to ride a bicycle. I just recently turned 50. I've never ridden a bicycle, because I never rode a bicycle as a kid, you know. So always, for about 13 years of my life, everything I did was trekking. The first time I saw Morocco was in 1984. I was 13, and the first time I saw, I got to know about color TV and all the other things like electricity and all. I may have been like 18, you know. So we had just one sign of luxury. That's the only thing that told me life could be better than it was all through my growing up years. My father had a 4-battery radio set, and so when my father would go out fishing, I will, you know, there were so many gospel cassettes at the time. I would take one and put in there, insert in there, and press the recording knob and try to run mock football commentaries that I used to listen to. You know, so once I listened to those things, I used to like them, and I said to myself, okay, when I grow up, I want to get inside this box and also sound like that. I guess that's what the inspiration came. The first time I came to Nigeria was in the year of our Lord 1990, and I got to know there was AKBC TV, there was Radio Akwa Ibom, and as they say, the rest is history. In the 90s, when I came back, I remember hiring a bus from my village that's just down the road, just around the Victor International Airport, and carrying some of my friends, you know, to come to Uyo for the first time of my life. And when we came, we asked for some places of interest. I already watched the TV station, AKBC TV, channel 45, on television. So I asked to see that place. So we were taken there and going around that place. It used to be where Government House is now. The station used to be there. And I said to myself, I'll work on this station. So 3 years down the line, I joined the station as a guest artist, you know, a guest presenter. And then was there for about 10 years. Then finally became a staffer. in 1999, I guess. But by 2001, by 2001, I woke up and I said, no, I didn't want to do this anymore. I went into politics. I said I left AKBC because I wanted to run for chairman of Uruan local government council. That didn't quite work out well, as politics has been, So by 2003, I set up what is today Bush House, Nigeria. It was just simple for me. I had a dream. God gave me that to me in a dream. So I went to the NTA at the time. The general manager at the time was the Deaconess Mrs. Christy Obod, and I asked to buy the airtime. Bought the airtime. We started. By then, we used to be 5 times every day, every week. Monday to Friday, all weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We'll do something that was for me very revolutionary. It was groundbreaking television, breakfast TV in Akwa Ibom. And so we went by that, and in 2003, that same year, that this was in July 2003 when we started, by November we had registered our first company. And that's what has given birth to what is now Bush House Media Limited, Honors of Bush House Nigeria. And we've gone on to do great things. Challenges have been immense, but they are mostly stumbling blocks created by mankind, created by man, not by nature. For instance, you come from a state where people say we don't support ourselves. Well, perhaps that could be true. Not going to dwell on that. You also have situations where people would, for instance, you're on air. I've always loved, apart from 20 questions, all our other programs are essentially live programs. So somebody agrees, I'm coming as your guest on the program and doesn't show up. Live program. And people have done that from the very top to the very bottom, So, but no matter the challenges, what we've always done is to make sure we keep running, we keep flying, we keep going where we want to go, because we know where we're going. Do you understand? We're not going to allow any distractions in the name of challenges to wear us down or to stop us. So we've never allowed. I've never really given thought to challenges. They are immense. Most of them, as I've said, man-made, but we're focused, all of us in Bush House, Nigeria. To be fair, you come to that point many times. We've come to that point. I've come to that point myself many times. Said, oh no, I don't want to do this anymore. But it's a calling. I believe that what we're doing is more than just being on TV or being on radio. Even at some point, we also run newspapers and magazines. For me, it's a calling. It's something I do not for profit. It's something that I do that has created, if you like, a platform for youngsters. Most of the youngsters today that you find, even in this state, who are doing well in the media sector, their roots is in Bush House, Nigeria. That's where they were trained. That's where the incubation was and all of that. So we continue to do that because we know the future is quite massive. It's not the kind of future that any present, any past, any small challenge can stop you from working towards. The secret, there can only be one, God. When you say God, people think it's simplistic because too many people call him. Okay, we can leave God and say it's Christ. Everything man achieves, you can find the root in God. You can find the root in Christ, because if you didn't even have life, how would you be here? I am quite thankful to God and to my family, and to friends and to partners, to sponsors, to people who have supported us. There are many of them, but there's a book coming up. A book will come that will tell the entire story, from even some people who have helped us without knowing they helped us. People who fought us, who fought themselves, and then we drew inspiration from that and continue to go. So we keep pushing, because again, we know where we're going. The future of Bush House Nigeria, the future of even my personal life, is so massive. It's not the kind of future that any experience, whether it's in the past, whether it's in the future, whether it's in the present, can make you want to give up on. It's a massive future, and all of us are going to get there, whether some people like it or yes. The fear that I would tell you I have right now is to, at the end of the day, leave this world with the remainder, with any form of goodness remaining in my bones. I'm going to try to say that again. I want that at the end, when God calls me at the end of 150 years, there will be no goodness left in my bone. Do you understand? So I try to do goodness at every turn. In fact, sometimes even to my personal detriment, personal chagrin. I try to do good. I try to support people. I try to do this because I believe that I was brought to this world just to be good to people, just to show people that people can support them without getting anything in return. So that's just it. My fear is that, I don't know. Well, perhaps it's not a fear because I know I'm going to achieve it. But I want to work every day, 25 hours every day, to make sure I can continue to push out the goodness in my veins, the goodness in my bloodstream, the goodness in my nerves to the world. Nobody should give up who knows God. Do you understand? If you know God, you can't give up. Even if you didn't know God, this is what to do. Just take your mind to the day before your birthday, the day before you were born. Where were you? That's what I do. Anytime people, my life is peopled by persons who want to show that, who want to play God all the time, who want to show that they are God, who want to show that without them there will be no survival. And I just laugh. The moment they do that, what I just simply do is to rewind my mind to the 11th, for instance, the 11th of August, 1971. Where was I? I was born on the 12th of August. 1971. So where was I on the 11th of August 1971? Where was I when my mother and my father met? Where was I? The moment you get that into your skull, it's going to liberate you. Do you understand? If I was nowhere, I didn't even know where I was, I can't tell the story. And then some man, some God brought me forth. He couldn't have brought me forth like an accident. He couldn't have brought me forth to just come and suffer. He couldn't have brought me forth to come and fail. There was a roadmap he had. Why do I suddenly think that my own roadmap is better than the person that brought me? Do you understand? So I didn't come to this way. There's nothing. See, I don't know. I was going to even start listing them, but they're not even important enough for me to start listing them. Nothing can make me give up, let alone to kill myself. I see people killing themselves because I believe that, see, even if it's 1 minute left, 1 minute to midnight, anything can happen. Do you understand? Because the God that brought me here is a deliberate God. It's a God that knows the thoughts that He has got for me, that they are thoughts of good, not of evil. And all of that to bring me to an expected end, not suicide, not giving up. I like the fact that you call it your program, but it's not originally my program. It was not originally my program. It's something that, as with everything that I touch, God gives me the blessing, the energy to be able to make better. 20 Questions is not my own. I think it was originally a BBC program. When I was starting out on my journey as a broadcaster, my mentor, Mr. Eddie Egbenyong, had he was the one running 20 Questions for Radio Akwa Ibom. I was just in the university. I think I was in year 1 in the university. So he invited me to be a panelist on the program. I became a panelist on the program, and not quite a year later, he said he was no longer interested in the program, so I took over. So when I left the AKBC, when I resigned, when I quit the AKBC in 2002, I felt that I needed to do something with that program. Fortunately, there was no presenter, so I went to AKBC again, or Radio Akwa Ibom at the time, bought airtime, bought also airtime on TV, and for the first time put it on TV, and the response was massive. And that's how, for years, since 2004, I've been directly responsible for, if you like, 20 Questions Nigeria. We have put it on radio, beyond radio that I inherited, we put it on TV. Even beyond that, we've also put it online, So it wasn't originally my program, but it's something that we have added some value to and made this. It's essentially a program that teaches you many things. How to ask questions, how to think, how to work together, so many things. The Spirit of 20 Questions is a huge one. I'm also thinking that very soon I'll be able to take it through school so that it could become a course in the university or in secondary schools. Just teach them how to ask questions, how to work together, how to do teamwork, how to not be discouraged. You ask a moment ago about not giving up, how to never be tempted to give up. No matter what happens on 20 questions, just believe that you can nail it. You ask 20 questions within that time frame or that question frame, you must be able to unravel a given object that was originally supplied by the mystery voice and known only to the chairman, that's myself, and then of course members of the audience. So it's a beautiful concept, and I am thankful to God that it came my way. Don't want to get involved in media because of money. You know, don't want to get involved in media because of money, because you're just going to miss your way and do all sorts of ugly stuff. But on the whole, it's a beautiful thing. Get involved. Make sure you know enough. You know, I'm backed. Very when you are half-baked, you don't have the system. The media, the ecosystem of media in Akwa Ibom, we need the correct people, we need the right people. People are well-trained, people are patient, people want to learn, and people are teachable to get involved. That's the best way to fix the industry in our state.
Well, that's the story. What's yours? To participate on this program, please call the number displayed on your screen right now. And to watch us on demand 247, please log on to www.memoristv.com.ng. You can also like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to be notified every time we update a new episode. Thank you so much for staying with us on this program today. My name is Ofonisi Abasi, and from me is bye-bye.